Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Gold and Silver Update. I'm JR. Today is Wednesday, June 26th, 2019. We're looking at the gold market, the silver market. We're going to look at some ratios, and we're also going to look at the Dow Jones. I'm also going to do another video for those of you who want to look at some of the cryptos, because the cryptos right now are on fire. Actually, not all the cryptos, just Bitcoin. Kind of like gold. Gold is really the only one that's moving. With that said, let's start off with gold. Gold looking extremely positive. Beautiful, beautiful move to the upside here. We can see that we have finally broken this level of resistance, 1360. 13 and 3/4 has really been the level that we've been waiting for. I was actually expecting the market to come back over here and find some support, roughly between 11 and a half. All the way up to around 12 and a half, right? So this $100 area here, I was hoping for us to come down in here, give us an opportunity to buy, or some of you who don't own any gold, give you guys an opportunity to buy, but that's not what we got. We got a pennant here, and then we had the big move to the upside. So as always, we plug these lines here from the lowest to the highest, right? Or to the most important low, which is this area right here. The reason why this is the most important is because it created a new high. So now this becomes the most significant low, right? Let's look at this market here. And let's look at this move. As always, the more times we test a level of resistance or support, the more likely it is that you're going to take that level out. We've been seeing this level at around 13 and a half, 13, actually between 13 and 3/4, just under 13 and 3/4. And we've been saying that a good move above 13 and 3/4, really 1400 was even better. The closer to 1400, the better the move was going to be. So this is the monthly chart. We can see that we only have another 5 days to end this market in a positive way. I think and I hope we do end this market, we do end the month with this really nice candle. Very unlikely, I think, that the market is going to come back down and just leave a giant wick, but obviously anything can happen, but very unlikely that that's going to happen. I think at this point what you're going to see is you're going to see these sellers get out of the way like any other breakout, right? And anytime you have a breakout, you want to see where the market is going and you want to get out of the way. So anytime you see something like this, let's say for example, this level serves as resistance. Once we break out and you have that big candle, look at that big candle right here. What do you want to do? You want to get out of the way, right? People take some profits, they come back over here and they rebuy. So what you want to see is, you want to see that move to the upside, come back, test, and continue to go higher. Again, this is most likely what's going to happen here. The sellers are going to see this big move, and no one's going to want a part of that. Who's going to short gold right here at 1410? Nobody's going to short gold. I mean, unless you have absolutely no experience trading, nobody wants to short gold right here. Okay, you want to buy gold. You want to wait for gold. You have two options. You can buy gold because it has some momentum. And the second option is wait for the pullback. The right thing to do is wait for the pullback. So again, this is the monthly chart. If we see the monthly chart, what I would like to see in a perfect world is something like this. Why is this drawn like this? I don't know why, but you want to see a nice little move like this. Okay. And then it comes back down, something uniform. But again, ultimately, the breakout is finally here. We finally see the breakout. In a perfect world, what would I like to see is, I would like to see resistance, now turn support, find some support, and continuing to go higher. We have a lot of things backing us up. We got this level of resistance, now turn support. We also have this long-term trend line here that I mentioned before. Let's put that trend line up. We also have this trend line right here. So again, a lot of things backing us up. And we've really, for the most part, taken out every level of resistance. We also have this. This is a really nice formation. This was the highest high before the big low that took out some of these lows. So again, this being the highest high, we can plug this line over here, and we can also see that what the market did was we broke out above that trend line, came back, that trend line that used to be resistance now turned that support, and then we saw the big breakout, the big candle. That's your monthly chart. Let's look at the weekly chart. For the weekly chart, we already got the close that we were looking for. Over here, last week, or I would say a week and a half ago, what we were waiting for is I was actually waiting for the market to come back down here. I thought we were going to continue to find some resistance over here. But again, who knew this market was going to continue to go up? Of course, we all expected it. We just didn't know when it was going to happen, right? So what do we have? We have a big move to the upside. Technically, is this move over? It might be over. And the reason why I say it might be over is because like any pennant, again, let me draw this up here. This is a pennant, okay? And once you have that pennant break, this is the target. The target goes from the lowest low to the high. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put this and you're going to plug it into the low here. So for the most part, you have 1450. That's the target. We hit 1440. I'm going to say that we hit the target. Again, because of a $10 difference, I'm not gonna start. You don't want to start buying gold right here. You definitely want to wait for the market to do what it's going to do. It could continue to go higher, much higher, but especially with these sellers getting out of the way, especially after a multi-year low. We're talking about since 2013, since 2002, and actually the last time we saw these levels was back in 2014. So roughly 5 years ago was the last time that gold breached the $1,400 level, right? So with that said, we got a long-term break. Nobody's going to go against the long-term break. Everybody's just going to wait this thing out and see what the market is going to do. But in a perfect world, what I want to see the the market come back over here. It's fine to go below it, guys. It's very fine to go below this level here. This level 1360 level here. It would be very okay for the market to break that level. What we would want to see is we want to see the level come back over here and then the market continue to go higher. Again, if we do see the break of that level here, 1360, then what we would like to see is we would like to see this area hold right here, right? So what we want to see in this point, if it does break this 1360 level, then what we want to see is we want to see the market do this. I think the market is going to continue to move the way this moves. It's not going to go parabolic. I think the market is going to edge its way up and it's going to come back over here. I'm hoping that by the beginning of next year we'll be in the $1,500 prices. But I can tell you right now, above 1,400, really strong close. This is very solid here for gold. Let's look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart, again, we saw the close above the 1370. So again, also very positive. We actually got a close above 1,400. Actually, this was at 1398. So just at 1,400, very strong, very nice break, very nice bullish engulfing candles. And then from here, we want to see this level here hold and then continue to go higher. I think that'll be the safest, and I think that's the safest route for gold, right? Anytime you have a market do exactly what the technicals like to do, that's a healthy market. That's a weekly chart here for gold. Let's look at the daily chart here for gold. Again, it looks like gold, it'll be very healthy for the market to start sliding down, maybe create another pennant, and then continue to go higher. All right, that's the gold market. So again, gold looking very robust. I'm very excited about gold, and I'm excited about the precious metals in general, simply because of the price action here for gold. I think that action signifies that there's still folks buying some serious gold, and now with all the uncertainty, maybe this is the time that they're going to come in. We look at silver. Again, anytime we come down to the 13 level, to the sub $15 level, it seems that we have some buyers. Although we do have to admit that the more times we test a level of support, the more likely it is for you to break it. So it really wouldn't make a lot of sense for gold to break out, but not silver. We can see here that just based on this long-term trend, and really that's not where I want to plug the line, simply because this high did not create another low, so this does not add up to the most significant high. This would be the most significant high, because this is before the decent move to the side, to the bottom. Although it still didn't break this level of support or this level, but because this is a long-term chart, this is a monthly chart, we'll look at that and respect that. This is really where you want to be, over here or over here. So again, either way you put it, you broke out of that range. Even if I were to put the market over here or even over here, this candle is already looking very robust. It's already looking positive, right? So that's the monthly chart on gold. Let's look at the weekly, right? So the weekly, we can see here that back in December of 2015, we really broke out of the market. And again, the move that you want to see, like anything else, you want to see the range and then you want to see the breakout, right? And that's exactly what we have. We saw the breakout, and then after the breakout, right? Let's pause this over here. And then let's look at this. So when you saw this move over here, I keep talking about the breakouts and then the retest of support now turn resistance, right? So we came into this range here, we saw the breakout, and then what do we want? We want to see the down, the move to the bottom, test support, now test resistance, now support, and then we want to see more upside and more upside. That's the same thing that I think we've seen over here. When this market broke out, I think it was back in December. What I said was it would be very healthy for us, the market, to come back over here and go up. Extremely healthy for us to do that. Simply because, again, this is your range. You get out of the range, you come back and test that range, and then you want to take off. Why silver hasn't taken off? To be completely honest with you, it has. Silver's actually up. You know, silver's actually up what, 5%? That's not bad. That's actually pretty solid. We're just not seeing the move that gold is seeing. But we can also study the ratios and suggest that maybe silver is just holding back for whatever reason the market wants to hold it back. But again, the move from gold does suggest, and the ratios do suggest, that silver is going to take off here pretty soon. So again, sideways trading, get out of the market, get out of the range, come back into the range, and then you take off again. We have a nice and bullish candle here. That's a signal to buy. We have another nice bullish engulfing candle here. That's another signal to buy. So I think silver between $14, under $15 is just a screaming buy. Again, I would be very surprised if the market goes below 13.5. I don't see that happening. That's the weekly price that's the weekly chart for silver. Let's look at the daily chart for silver. And again, comes down. We got a shorter time trend line here, or trend, right? This is the last time we saw a high. We create another low, and since then, now we're creating higher highs and higher lows. What do we want to continue to see? We want to see a low, we want to see a higher low, and we want to see a higher low somewhere on here. So the market should, in theory, come back up to the 1620 level here pretty soon. I think it's going to happen. I would probably say before the rate announcement. I think the market is going to go over here. Let's look at the ratios here. Ratios for silver here. Let's look at the monthly. I'm not going to go through all the charts here for the ratio, because this is just, ratios is a long-term thing. We can see here that this chart goes back to 1975. The highs are 100. What are these ratios of 100, or currently at 92? What do these ratios suggest? They suggest that the bottom here for the precious metals. Anytime, historically speaking, you see the ratios, anytime you can buy more than 80 ounces of silver with 1 ounce of gold, that usually signals a bottom for the precious market, for the precious metals market. Again, we've been seeing 80 since this area here since June 2003. All right, and since then, again, last time we were at 80, came back down. Last time we were at 80, again came back down. Now you have a broadening formation. Is up above the broadening formation, but nonetheless, we still have some backup here. So again, we would probably see 95, 96, but this is a strong indication that the metals are going to go, they're going to go much higher. So again, what better opportunity to sell than selling at a high? What better opportunity than to buy than we're at a low? When we look at the market, whether we're looking at the gold market, right? The silver, you don't need to know much about charts. All you need to know is that this right here is the low and this over here is the high. So I wouldn't sell in this area here. We are finding some support, and again, some nice candles that we like. So again, on the monthly, nice area to buy over here, and hopefully taking this thing much higher. Federal Reserve, they're backtracking now. They're gonna start doing quantitative easing. It's just a matter of time. Home sales are down. Nothing positive. Nothing positive. And then on top of that, you have an election with if you ask me, nobody's solid. You know, Trump is going to be an issue. The Republicans are going to be an issue. The Democrats are going to be an issue. I don't play the political games, whether you're Republican or Democrat. All I can tell you is right now there's a lot of political turmoil and there's a lot of geopolitical tension. So there's a good reason why gold is taking off, and there's a good reason why we all feel, anybody that trades this market, no one's going to tell you to sell right now, because again, this is not the time to sell. This is the time to buy. That's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. What you have here is a false breakout. This used to be resistance around 97 3/4. went up to 98.25, and then since then it broke down, right? So that's usually signals lower prices. So why do I think gold and silver are going to continue to go higher? Very simple, because all the technicals, whether you're looking at the Dow Jones, whether you're looking at the US dollar, whether you're looking at whatever it is that you're looking at, the metals are looking bullish. The ratios are looking bullish. The dollar is looking bearish, okay? I don't anticipate the dollar to go above 100 anytime soon. With that said, if the dollar is going to go down, then commodities are going to rise. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.